So um, the reason why I called for the class today is because it's something I want to show you guys how you can stay profitable in the market. Um, these are some trades that I just took some minute ago. These are some trades that I just took some minute ago. Okay, so don't worry, I will explain the trades. I will explain how I do the trades. But there's one thing I want to discuss with you guys about trading. When you come to trading, there's there is always a day that you will lose, and there's always a day that you will win all the time. If you guys imagine what happened today when I called for signals, I think some of the trade didn't go well, and I know the reason why it didn't go well because some of the trade really fall during the news time. And if you guys observe the market is not stable. So I'm still not happy why I choose that period to give the signal. Even I lost some trades. I lost some trades. I was planning to take two section to reach from $11 to reach at least $250. So I was investing $15, so I lost a lot. So um, it was later around 4 o'clock. I go back, I check the market. I saw the market was cool. Everything was cool then. So I start trading. So I start trading and I make some profits. So with the balance that left in my account, which is about $40, I was able to raise it to $600. Then I withdraw it. It's just that what I'm saying this is just that I'm just happy for today because today is good day for me. But the morning, the first section which I had was bad. It was later when I calmed down and I checked the market. I saw the market was in good condition around that 4 p.m. So I checked the market. The market was in a good condition, so I start trading. So I was able to turn, is it 32 or 40, something like that. I was able to turn because I don't always check my balance anytime I'm trading. I just know that I have some balance there. So it is after I finish the section, before I just check my balance, how much I have made so far. So I was able to make up to $600. So I withdraw the $600. So left with $7. It was $7 that I make this profit. With $7 I make this profit. So with $7 left in my account after withdrawing it, I start investing with $3. Then before you know, the account start increasing, which I knew, which I knew. So so what I'm saying is there is always a day that you end up losing your money, and there's always a day that you will make it while trading. There's always a day something like that. Okay, so never give up in trading. Never give up in trading. And one thing about trading is that if you don't have capital to start trading, you won't make profits. You won't be profitable. So you must have capital. Okay, you must have money to start with because if you want to make money in trading, you must use your money to start making money. So money makes money. Okay, so there's nothing like free. Even though you join all these tournaments thinking that you're going to win. I have tried some of the tournaments. Once I reach about $6,000 before you know, because I martingale I use all the amount, invest all the amount. I don't use uh, small amounts to trade. I martingale it. So before you know, once my position is about, if you guys are following me some days, you will see, if you guys are following me, you see my name on 72 hours You see my name as the second. Once I reach about 17,000. Once I reach about 70,000, I was the first person in the list here. I reached about 70,000. I was the first person in the list here. But because I'm a Mantige, I don't focus. I don't take it as a real account before you know I lose everything. So why should I be buying again? I cannot buy again just for me to take my mind out of it. So it's better for me because I have money in my account, so I can trade with the money. I can use the same knowledge I use. So what am I saying is you should have money to start trading. So if you don't have money to start trading, don't ever borrow loan to start trading. Use your own money, your own savings, the one you know that you are ready to risk, the money you know that you can risk it. So you just give out. Okay. So let me start with all this trade I took, and I'm going to explain why I took all this trade. Okay. So this trade I took here, I placed call option here with $3 because I saw I got this is one of the lessons I'm going to share with us today about how to follow the trend, the way you should see the trend, and how to follow it. So that is what I'm going to explain to you today. So reason why I go with bias here, because for me to predict candles here, if I want to predict this candle here, I cannot just use only this previous candle alone. I must check why buyers entered here. I must find out why buyers entered here. And I must find out what happened on the left side. Why am I seeing buyers here? And what really happened to this candle? These are the things that I must find out before I start predicting candles. I cannot just say, let me buy because of strong candle. No. Okay? So you should not have one reason to predict candle. You should not have one reason. You can have many reasons. But for me here, I have about 4 reasons that I was able to predict the candles here, to place call option here. The first reason was one, I check on the left side. I saw buyers entry here. I saw buyers entry here. I saw buyers entry here. Then I check. I saw sellers entry here. Sellers entry here. Sellers entry here. That is why I draw this trend line. Okay? That is why I draw this trend line. So sellers entry here, sellers entry here. That is why I draw this trend line. I should have drawn this another trend line here. Okay, but I don't want to draw it. So what am I saying is when I saw this candle form, I quickly find out why did it form here. So I was able to know that it was because of some bias at this area. So because of some bias at this area. That is why we see the buyers entry here. Now, before these buyers could enter, the sellers already exhausted. This candle here, we call it exhausted candle. Inverted hammer, you should know that. It's exhausted. You know, when I mean by exhausted, exhausted candle is candle that maybe try to form green, and later I have given us a section about this exhausted candle. Try to form green, and later maybe wait for some time. The buyers will think they have won the trade, but immediately it reverse and form red. Now show this shape, this shape. So we call this inverted hammer. But in the real world, the sellers are exhausted. Now you call this rejection, right? You can say this upper wick here, this upper wick is rejection, selling pressure. But I can also say it's weak because buyers try to enter, but because of sellers is still available in the market, and because of the previous candle here, they see sellers still enter. Now I should take this candle that this candle is exhausted. It's exhausted because no more strength. And if we observe the body of the candle is very smaller than the previous one, so sellers lose momentum. Sellers has been exhausted. The previous candle was very strong, no rejections. If it appears here, the buyers will have entered, but it stopped here, not here. Okay, so Sellers are still more available, but they are exhausted. They are very weak this time. So that is why the buyers entered. And the buyers entered because of buyers area here. Okay? Because of buyers area. If you also check on the left side, you will see some buyers entries here. Okay? There are so many reasons that you will see. Then you can see rejections. It means that this area is biased, it's owned by buyers. You also see some bullish momentum here. It means that the buyers are here. The buyers are here. Okay? That is why we are seeing this momentum. If there's no momentum, okay, what's your question? Okay, okay, yeah, okay, yes, that is it. So, seeing this bullish momentum makes us to know that the buyers are present at this time, because we can see this momentum here. So we should know that the buyers are present this time. That is why we see the buyers entry. Now, when the buyers entered, where should we expect the sellers entry? This is where I saw sellers entered here. Sellers entered here. Sellers also entered here. So these are the area that I should expect sellers entry. But because this candle closed with a rejection, I can't expect sellers entry here. That is not how to trade, because the market is moving like this. The market is moving like this. It's not moving sideways, it's moving downward. Okay, so I can't take this area here as sellers entry. Even I take it, there's no rejection from sellers. But this is where the sellers really enter. Okay, because I can see some bearish candle forming here. Okay, so when I saw this candle close here, I placed call option, but the candle gap down. It gap down for buyers to enter. That is why we see a strong bullish candle. That's why you see a strong bullish candle. Okay, if there's no rejection, if there's rejection from sellers, we should know that the sellers are trying to enter this time. So we should pay attention to what is going to happen on the next candle. But there's no rejection this time. The sellers are really waiting here. So it is for me to say I will place call so that buyers will continue to this level. So it is now left for the buyer to see, to behave. Maybe they will respect this level or cross the level. It was after they cross this level, then you should know that this is the highest level that you should expect sellers entry, right? Horizontally. After using the trend line, you place call. So you should expect, if this bad bullish candle close here, you should expect some sellers entry. That means you place put because of this level. But it still crossed it. That is why the next candle was doji. That is about to form green, but no buyers, no sign of buyers. So next candle was red. So these are the things that you need to consider before you place your trade. Not just only using one single candle to predict. Okay, and this pattern look like evening morning star pattern. Okay, but not the correct morning star pattern. The overall trend is still down, the market is still down, the trend is still down. So because we see opportunity to place call here, we place call. So buyers are present at this time. That is why I place call. Then the second one, I nearly lost this trade because the market was too fast. So I look at this chart here. I saw the market was in an uptrend, right? But I check again. I saw buyers entry here, buyers entry here, buyers entry here, and some bullish momentum. It means the buyers are really waiting at this area. But this candle that close here doesn't close with the rejection. Don't mind, or don't trouble yourself if this candle close here and you want to draw a level. Don't worry yourself. You can just analyze without even drawing level. You see that I didn't draw any level because I already have it in mind that buyers are here. So it is for me to see the reaction of sellers. What are the sellers are going to do here before I decided what to be the next candle. So I saw sellers entered, And when sellers enter, no rejection. But previous candle has a doji, but this time no rejection, and the selling pressure is too strong. Even the previous momentum also is strong. So that is why I expect sellers to enter at least 1 minute before we follow this trend. That is why I decided to go the seller. But the market keep dancing up and down, keep dancing until finally close below my entry. Okay, there's no rejection here. Don't worry about drawing levels. If you want to draw levels, you will be confused. So don't worry yourself about drawing levels. You can see the candle really close at the area, but no rejection. Sellers will still enter for 1 minute if there's any rejection before the buyers enter. If there's no rejection, sellers will continue until they find another buyers area. Okay, so these are the things that you need to consider. But here I didn't draw any levels because I already know the buyers are here. Okay, the buyers are here because we see some buyers entry, buyers entry, buyers entry, even some momentum. So it tells me that the buyers are here, and according to the trend the market want to go up. So this time I didn't see any sign the buyers is going to enter here. Also the sellers are very strong, so that is why I go with sellers. But then when the sellers enter, become weak with the rejection, then I saw buyers entry. So that is why I go with buyers here. That's why I go with sellers here. Okay. Then this one, the market was in a bad conditions, about to close, and I still got it in here. Okay. So here I wanted to go with sellers, but when I noticed that the buyers entered from this level very strongly, I knew the buyers is going to enter again. I was looking on the left side. No, this is downtrend, right? We really want to go with the trend. That is just it. So I was looking on the left side. I saw multiple rejections from sellers. If there is rejection here, sellers will have entered. But there's no rejection. But this is sellers area. There's no rejection, but this is sellers area. That is why we see the market has this lower rejection, up and down. Sellers try to enter but fail because this is sellers area. Okay, this is sellers area. We see multiple rejection. This is sellers area, but they have to give respect with the candle that close. The candle that close doesn't have a rejection, so not this time the sellers is going to enter. So that is why I decided to go with buyers on the next candle. But the candle closed exactly at my entry point, and I got it here. Okay, so that is why I go with buyers. But the trend is still down, but not this time. You can see that most of the reason why I go with buyers or why I go against the trend was because of no rejection. Just like this one, no rejection, I go with buyers. Then this one also, no rejection, I go with sellers. Okay, so then this I go with sellers because I look at it again. I look at the trend. The market is moving like this, right? But when I check on the left side, I saw some reversal here. Then I saw sellers entry here. That is, the sellers are here. You see this after this green candle, sellers entered. It means the sellers are here. Okay. Then this is also a reversal level. So I must see confirmation that will make me to go with sellers if I want to go with sellers. And the confirmation I saw here was this pin bar having this lower rejection, this long lower rejection. So it's exhausted, just like this one here. It's exhausted, just like this. So this is also just like exhausted the pin bar candle. Same thing here. This one got rejection. The market cannot reverse immediately because of seeing this rejection. When you see this rejection like this, let me tell you about different how to predict candles in this kind of situation. Look at this candle. It got rejection. Sellers entered. Look at this one. Look at this one. Got rejection, but sellers did not enter. Why? There's a reason why the sellers did not enter. Because we already have some momentum here, some backup movement, and the candle that closed was very strong. So we can't expect sellers entry until we see a sign of reversal, which we know that this area, the market really want to reverse because we have reverse, reverse, reverse seller's entry. Here also reverse. Here also reverse, reverse. Okay, so that is reversal area. So I need to see a sign of reversal. This is not a sign of reversal. This is a strong candle. Despite having this upper rejection, is not a sign of reversal because of this momentum. Look at this one. This is a sign of reversal. So it reversed the market because of this momentum. But this one, because of this momentum, the buyers must still enter the game until you see a sign of reversal. And this is a sign of reversal. That is why I go with sellers on the next candle. Okay, I go with sellers because this is reversal area one. This is also a sign of reversal with rejection, and this is also sellers area. We can see sellers here. After this green candle, we see some sellers entry. So we see sellers here. So sellers are here. We can also see sellers entry here. We can also see rejections. So sellers are really waiting at this area. So we need to see a confirmation that we should go with sellers, which is sign of reversal. So that is why I go with sellers here. Now, this one, I go with sellers because I was seeing the market was not stable. I wanted to go with buyers, but the market is not stable. If I want to go with buyers, the candle will just go up. So I just pick it, okay, let me better go with sellers. And reason why I go with sellers, but it's because of I saw rejection here. After seeing this rejection, we saw this hammer candlestick and the sellers entered. So it means that the sellers are here. The sellers are here. That is why I go with sellers. I place put option. Okay. Instead of placing call, I wanted to go with buyers, but the candle is very fast. There's no more time for me to place call. So I have to go against the trade. Okay. And again, I can see downtrend, minor or major downtrend. So definitely sellers are here. And this is also a reversal area. So sellers are here where I enter the trade, because also we can also see a strong rejection from sellers here. After seeing this strong rejection, we see a hammer candlestick, then before we see a reversal. So definitely sellers are here. That is why I wait for the candle to reach this level, then I place my trade, and it got rejection from sellers. But you can see that after getting rejection, the buyers are very weak compared to previous candle. That is why we see sellers entry next. Okay, so that is why I place call put option. Then this I place call because I can see the market was still moving up. So you can see that the market is very easy to predict. The market was still moving up. If you follow the tricks, if you follow every steps by steps, the market is moving. The market is very easy to predict. The market is moving up here, so it's better for me to know when I should go with buyers. Okay, when I saw this doji candlestick here, I saw this doji candlestick after this strong candle. It means the buyers want to go up. When you see this kind of signal here, you saw green and a doji and a green. It means the market want to go up. After seeing the market is having a major uptrend, so I noticed that we have some sellers here. You can see sellers entry here. We can see sellers entry here. You can see. So I don't want to draw the level, but I just know that the sellers are here. Okay. So, but I need to see a sign that I should go with sellers. If I didn't see any sign that to go with sellers, then I should go with buyers. Then, so here there's a rejection because there's no backup. There's a rejection. Sellers want to enter, but fail. So buyers want to enter the game. Buyers enter the game, but still this time no rejection. Sellers failed here, buyers entered, but this time no rejection, and the trend is uptrend. So that is why I go with buyers this time. That's why I place call option here. No rejection from sellers at the sellers area. This is sellers area because we can see multiple rejections. So no rejection because here there's a rejection from sellers. You see, there's a huge rejection, sellers enter. This one also rejection, sellers supposed to enter but fail, but no sign of sellers. So definitely after seeing green doji, this type of doji, green doji and a green, it made the market want to go more up from this level. So that is why I go with buyers, because there's no sign of sellers again. After sellers entry here, there's no more sign of sellers again. That's why I go with buyers here. And here I go with buyers because this trend is still uptrend. The trend is still uptrend, major trend. This is the mega, we call this mega major trend and major downtrend, but this is major trend. The major trend is up, the minor trend also is up. And the reason why I go with buyers here, number one, uh, I have experienced this multiple times. Even I saw some years ago, I think that was last year. I checked a video on YouTube, which is a Beniza, it's a Beniza video. One of the YouTube video, I saw this kind of formation. I saw this kind of formation that when you see sellers entry, Margozu, and when they see a doji candlestick here, please call. And I've seen this multiple times in my own experience. Anytime I trade, I always see this. So I know the buyers is going to enter here, and this is uptrend, right? This is major uptrend and minor uptrend. But we have sellers here. We have sellers here. We also have sellers here. We also have sellers here, but no sign of sellers. Buyers enter. So as there's no sign of sellers here, a doji candlestick, that is why I go with buyers here. In the direction of the trend, if there's sellers entry here, take note, if there's sellers entry like a red candle here, and you see this candle, this movement, and there's no rejection, it means the sellers will enter again. But this time there was no sellers entry. That is why we see buyers entry. So the boundaries, the buyers have already taken over the level. There was no sellers entry. So we see a bullish candle. So buyers have already taken over the level. And this candle stopped at that level, that same area. So definitely buyers will enter. I've had place call because I want to change my entry. I want to change my amount because I know I'm following the amount. So I want to change it to $5. I didn't expect to change it to $5. I forget to change it to $5, so I used $3. But when I saw the market was already moved, I said, "Oh, this is my mistake." So I quickly click on $5. But then, unfortunately, but the market still closed above my entry, and I won the trade. So this is, if you want to go with sellers, this is where you should go with sellers. And also, if there's sellers entry here, a red candle here, you can go with seller because no rejection from seller. But there's no rejection. There's no rejection in Marbozu, sign of reversal. Also, there's no sellers entry. So this area, buyers has already taken over. That is why you see anytime the sellers come to that area, there must be some a sign the buyers want to enter. That is why we see this doji candlestick. Okay, so because no sign of sellers, buyers taking over this area. But anytime sellers come, buyers try to enter. You see this rejection, buyers still try to enter. You see again, sellers stop at the same level, buyers try to enter but fail. But because they fail, this also goes buyers enter. That same level, we got a bullish candle form. Again, we got a rejection from buyers, but this time no rejection, sellers come to that level. So it means that if the market will still go up to that same level, there must be at least sellers entry. Okay, so that is the reason why I go with buyers. Number one, a sign of reversal. Number two, no sign of sellers here. And the buyers have taken over this area. Again, the trend is up, and the next sellers area is here. So that is why I go with buyers here. That's it, very simple. Then again, I go with buyers here in the direction of the trend. The direction of the trend, I go with buyers here because the trend is still up, right? The trend is up. Then I look at here. I saw sellers entry here, but a few sellers, they can't withstand this bullish candle. Buyers enter. You know, when the buyers enter, you should take note that okay, when the buyers entered here, you should take note that there are some sellers here. I wanted to go to the left side and draw the level, but I noticed that the market is too much stressful, so I'm lazy to go back and start drawing levels. So I didn't draw the levels. I just assumed that okay, sellers is here. So that is why I assume that sellers are here, because seeing this rejection on the bearish candle means sellers are here. So definitely this candle didn't cross the level. So sellers must supposed to enter, but no sign of sellers. That is why I immediately go with buyers. I go with buyers. Okay. So assuming that there's a sign of sellers here, seller will have entered again. If there's a sign of sellers, maybe a bearish candle here, next candle will be red because this is sellers area. The market will not be able to close above, but this time the buyers close it. So when the buyers close it, sellers come to that same level, it becomes a support. That is why we see multiple buyers entry here. Okay, because no sign of sellers, no sign of sellers here, no sign of sellers here. Buyers already taking over this area, so we see multiple buyers entry here. I think same thing here. Yes, same thing. Yes. So there's no sign of buyers. That is why there's no sign of sellers. That is why I go with buyers. And this one, I go with buyers because though the trend is down, but when you are trading in the direction of the trend, you must still consider some few things about where you did expect the buyers to enter and what are the price action that you should know that the buyers will enter or when you should trade against the trend. The trend is down, right? But this is when you should trade against the trend. These are the things that you need to observe if you want to trade against the trend. Number one, you must see the price action on the left side. Number two, you must see the price action on the candle that closed even the previous one. You're supposed to check everything before you predict against the trend. Now, I look on the left side, I saw buyers entry. That means the buyers are here. Okay. When you see this bullish candle, when I saw this bullish candle, I already know the buyers are here. This is not where I should expect the buyers entry, but buyers are here. Okay. But the buyers entered from this level. But seeing these two bullish candles here, it means the presence of buyers are here. So I need to confirm my entry to see if there's going to be any sign the buyers will enter. And this is it. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Until they finally got rejection at the buyers area. If you go to um, let me draw this level here. Go to lower time frame, and you see how this level is formed. Let's say 5 seconds. Oh shit, too much logic candlestick. But you know that this is where buyers enter. Buyers entered here. You can see rejections. Buyers entered. So definitely the buyers must enter from this level. Let me check 15 seconds. What's going on? Since I restore all my files, my system has been slowing. Even the network is just giving me shit. You know what's wrong with the network. So definitely this is where we should expect buyer's entry. You can see on 15-second chart, buyer's entry, multiple rejections. Here also, buyer's entry. So definitely we should expect buyer's entry from that level. Because though it's against the trend, but we have already confirmed our trade by seeing some buyers, presence of buyers here, then rejection, rejection, rejection. It means the buyers are also here. So that means, and finally the candle close at the buyers area, so we should expect buyers candle here. So this is how you should analyze the trade, and this is how you should reason before you take any trade. Don't just predict randomly, and don't just analyze one single candle before you place your trade. Don't say because you see rejection you want to place. Find out why this rejection form. Find out why there's multiple rejection. Find out what happened to the trend. Why did the market change direction? What happened? These are the things that you must consider before you place any trade. Okay, don't go against the trend. Fine, but you must have a reason. The network is just bad. I don't know why. So these are the network is bad. So these are the things that these are the obstacles or these are the problem I always have nowadays when I'm in a business. Network will just go bad. So make me lose focus before you know I start getting losses. So what I want to say is you must stay focused. Don't give up. Don't give up. Okay? There's hope for everything. Don't give up in trading. There's hope for everything, and you must not relent. Don't relent at all. Always practice. Okay? So I think I should stop for today. I think I should stop for today. So the next class we're going to discuss how you can draw the levels. No, without drawing levels, now you may still be confused. How did I know sellers entry, sellers area, buyers area? Don't worry, that will be next class. I'll explain that. So today, let's stop for today. Have a nice weekend, everyone.